and thank you for finding me here at my original YouTube channel, Benidorm and Beyond. I produce positive, newsy and informative videos on a regular basis about Benidorm, where I have lived for well over 2 decades now. So if you enjoy this vlog, please consider becoming a subscriber so you never miss out on any of my brand new content as I upload it in the future. Today I'm continuing my long-established series, Benidorm's brand new bars and businesses, which each time shows you a whole host of befores and afters that you may not have seen since you last visited the resort. These consist of bars, restaurants, shops and other businesses that have all opened under new guises in old premises, and as always I've tried to be as precise as possible with all my info, as I always aim to be. Today we start in the New Town area. We're along Calle Lepanto and just 2 units up from the popular Sinatra's nightclub and cabaret venue. We see what was previously a closed down mini-mart has now become the Alice in Wonderland themed sweets and candies shop of Sweet Sin. Staying in the New Town and along the main busy thoroughfare of the Avenida del Mediterraneo and next door to the Silver City bar at the bottom of the square, we see what used to be the Fantasia's jewellery and accessory store has now been converted into a mini-mart, although retaining the previous name of Fantasia's. And to my mind, this is just what Benidorm doesn't need more of, yet another small overpriced mini-mart ready to sell rows of overpriced food and drink items to passers-by, with often no prices on anything at all, so they can just charge what they want as they please. Over on the Poniente side of town and towards the top of the large avenue of Avenida Jaime Primero, which leads down to the beachfront, and next to the Galera Sport Cafe, we can see what was formerly just an empty unit up for sale or rent has now been transformed into the Adam Baba kebab and fast food joint, with a small modern dining area inside, as well as takeaway options also being available. Right in the heart of the New Town now, along Calle Ibiza and opposite the Voices Shooters karaoke bar, we see what was previously a very popular and well-used cafe and tapas bar called Bar Nobel, offering many special offers and a traditional menu del dia, has now become just another kebab and pizza outlet with a choice of eating in or ordering to go. Staying on the same road and only a few units up, we see what used to be a series of Chinese shops selling cheap fashion, souvenirs and a selection of beachwear has now become a much smarter and stylish version of the same kind of store with proper glass windows and a tidier layout, and this is called Bazaar Asia. And just before this business, still on Calle Ibiza, we see what was formerly a film rental store called Ibiza Video Club, which for obvious reasons had been closed for many years, has now become the estate agents of Inmobiliaria Maria, with the old vending machines and slots for returning videos and DVDs still visible in the walls as you enter the premises. Now along Calle Girona, but not on the side that's known as the Strip, but instead towards the Old Town end, sandwiched between Los Belgas Cafe and a Spanish Todo shop selling a bit of everything, we see what was previously just an empty unit has now emerged into the new business of CNN e-choppers, specialising in the rental and sales of the fantastic black electric bikes that you can see displayed on their forecourt. Moving along to the upper Old Town area on the corner junction of Avenida de Ruzafa and Calle del Pino, we see that what was previously the popular cafe and tapas establishment of Ruzafa 55 has now become a very similar venue, only this time called Cafe Bar 23. With its row of arches and pavement side trees that line the outside terrace, it's a relaxing spot to stop for a drink, snack or light meal, and there's also a reasonably spacious interior for those who prefer to sit inside. Back along Calle Girona again, but this time on the pedestrianised section full of restaurants known locally as Food Street, we see what was formerly the Villa Romana Pizzeria and Steakhouse has now changed its style of cuisine to become Dado's Burger and Fast Food Restaurant. Heading into the main Old Town area and about halfway up the traffic-free shopping street of Calle Gambo, where you can find well-known stores such as Zara, Specsavers and Pandora, as well as lots of boutique stores and cafes, we see what was previously the accessory shop of bags and steps has now become the classy designer clothes retailer of first class. Now on the long downhill stretch of the Avenida Jaime I on the Poniente side of town once more, we see what was formerly just an empty unit waiting for someone to take it over again, has now become Loana's Cafe Bar, selling hot chocolate and churros, smoothies and snacks, as well as the locally produced Antu Shishona ice cream, with a variety to choose from their frozen display inside. Moving over to Calle Valencia, which can be found just off the main square of Plaza Triangular and just up from Tiki Town on the Levante seafront, we see that the former restaurant business of TGB's, standing for The Good Burger, has now become yet another mini-mart selling all the usual bits and pieces, with this one bizarrely calling itself the PTI Supermarket All-in-One. Now heading to the upper Rincon de Loix area along Avenida de Estocolmo, where you can find the busy bistro bar of Sonda as well as the holiday apartment block of the BCL Levante Lux, we see what was previously just a bricked-over empty locale, waiting for a new business to take it over and model it into what they wanted it to become, has now been transformed into, yes you've guessed it, yet one more mini-mart, promising both British and Spanish products on sale all day, and no doubt that convenience will come at a premium price, as always. Right up at the top of the old town now, just down from the headland and directly opposite Benidorm's main church of the Iglesia de San Jaime y Santa Ana, on the corner of Carrers Mayor in Malpas, we see what was formerly the Twisted Cocktail Bar, which was part of the Uncle Ron's group, has now become this area's latest vibrant and brand new cocktail bar in the shape of Bar Nova. Now at what is essentially the gateway to the old town, on the large square officially known as Plaza Hispanidad, we see what was previously the bar and restaurant of La Tabanita del Centro has now become the Italian bistro Pizza in Piazzo, promising you Sapori d'Italia, meaning the flavours of Italy. Just along the road and around the corner, down the pedestrianised street of Avenida Martina Zalecos in the Old Town, which is located only a few steps from the Levante Beach Promenade, we see that what used to be the opticians of Opticalia Espinosa has now become a new business in Cafe Rico's portfolio, with this churreria selling waffles, crepes and of course churros, and only being separated from their original Mediterranean sea-facing establishment by one business in the shape of the Comfort Ties shoe shop. Now firmly back in the new town, along Quai Girona or the Strip, and directly opposite the Hotel Marina Resort and its White Star Cabaret Bar, we see what was formerly the Indian restaurant of the Royal Palace has now become the Royal Kebab House, selling all the usual fast food takeaway items to passing hungry revellers. Back down the busy mini-dual carriageway road of the Avenida del Mediterraneo towards Plaza Triangular and just above the Consum supermarket, we see that what for years was the interesting and jam-packed trinkets and ceramics shop of Paris, where you could buy ornaments, gifts and Spanish-made souvenirs, has now become the Sol Regalos store with a more modern sign, but by the looks of it, still selling much the same, if not the same, products inside. Moving across town once more on the Poniente side of the resort and along Avenida del Jaime I, we see what was previously the Super Calza shoe shop that had been here for years and which offered directly from the factory prices, has now transformed itself into another branch of the Louisiana fried chicken restaurant Popeyes, with its sister venue to be found just off the Old Town Square of Plaza Triangular, with another one just outside Benidorm by the out-of-town shopping centre of Centro Comercial La Marina. Now along the ever-present Quai Girona in the new town once more, we see what was formerly the popular Irish bar of Scruffy Murphy's, but which had been closed for quite some time now, has been extensively renovated over the last few months to become the $1 Million Bar and Disco Pub, which some of you may have seen on my last news update vlog entitled Benidorm's Bar Revamps and Building Works Continue. Heading over to the Rincon de Loix and along the long avenue of Avenida Ametlla de Mar, which leads down to the Levante beachfront, we see what was many years ago a branch of the Santander Bank underneath the San Angelo apartment block has finally been taken on again and become a new small supermarket called Tradies, with there are two other similar shops to be found on the Poniente side of the town. Further along this street and just uphill along Calle Berlin, and more or less right next door to the Triangle pub, we see what for a short time was a women's fashion outlet has now become, dare I even say it again, yet one more mini-mart, this time with not even a name to call its own, but as ever advertising British products 24/7 and therefore hoping to make a killing from passing tourists who may be unaware or may be unbothered about the higher prices charged in these pretty much rip-off establishments. Finally, in the very centre of town, and halfway up the hill of Carrère Finistrat, which leads up to the Hotel Victoria and many other hotels and holiday apartment blocks, we see what was previously the British-run pub of St James's Tavern, although it has also been the Mucky Duck and probably other bars in between, has now become the Colombian music bar of Theatron, offering a pool table, a lively atmosphere and a variety of drinks deals. This brings us to the end of today's vlog, and I hope that you've enjoyed this latest tour with me, and catch you again soon. Cheers!